Hello out there, all you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you very much for lending me your time and your ear and listening into another 3DS game idea. And this time it is Metroid, the Samus Aran Chronicles. Samus Aran, Samus Aran, whichever way you want to say it. And I had thought about this for a while. Like, it was something I had thought about even when I was doing the Wii U Game Ideas series. And I was like, I don't know if this would necessarily be the best option for the Wii U, though. It will probably be better off for the 3DS for a handheld because of what I'm going to propose. And that is a remade Metroid Zero mission, which is Metroid 1, the first Metroid, the remaster of the first Metroid. A newly redone version of that utilizes all of the controls of the 3DS. That would give you the option to use SNES controls, Super Metroid controls, or the Fusion Zero Mission controls. Allow the option for people to choose. That way they have the buttons there, they can do whatever they want with them. Or just a customized version of the controls that you allow the player to be able to set up themselves. That's another option that would be great for the overall usage of this. And what I'm proposing is a remaster of the first game, a remaster of Metroid 2, which there's already a fan remaster, but Nintendo could still do their own. A remaster of Super Metroid, utilizing the various new controls that they came up with since Fusion, and a remaster of Fusion. Now, I'm one of those people that likes to unlock things in games when I play them. So I would make it so that you have to beat Metroid 1, 2, and Super in order to actually play Metroid Fusion. You'd have to beat all three of those games. Those three games are the Samus Aran Chronicles. And then you'd get the fourth game after beating those three. So you'd have a lot of playtime. It's like a general fast playthrough of Metroid, and I'm not talking about a speed run. I'm talking about just like a general fast playthrough of Metroid. Could be about 10 to 12 hours. So, for each game, about 10, 12 hours. You'll probably have about 30, 36, maybe 40 hours before you get to Metroid Fusion. And I don't think that's bad. I really don't think that's bad at all. Like, in putting them all together in one nice, neat package, I think it would be cool. You can include, like, for each game you beat, you unlock production artwork. You can unlock the soundtrack for that particular game to be able to listen to it. Obviously, Metroid 2 would be the one that would get the most work. It would get the biggest overhaul of them all. But there's also another catch to this. See, people might hate me for this. And I'm not going to apologize. I'm telling you straight up, I'm not going to apologize about this. But after beating Metroid Fusion, Metroid Other M unlocks. See, nobody was thinking I was going to say that. Put Metroid Other M on the 3DS. It can be done. I know it can be done. And while that is the least popular Metroid, I think is more or less because of the way the controls work. With the 3DS, you have the circle pad for the 8-directional movement. You have the gyros for being able to turn and aim and all that shit. So when you go into first-person view mode. But with this, add in the functionality to be able to move around and strafe while you're in first-person view mode. Slow Samus down like you're playing Metroid Prime, but be able to move around like that in that mode. But like, instead of it being a button held, it's like with the Wii when you're playing Metroid Other M, you have to point at the screen that goes into first-person view mode. With this, you just hit a button to toggle it on and off, and that way you can aim and move around and shoot and shit. I think that would be actually pretty damn cool. Like, and that would actually probably make the game a little bit more fun for some people. There might be someone who wants to play the game almost entirely in first person perspective. Now, there will be some places where you can't do that because if Samus is slowed down in first-person view mode, then you're obviously not going to get to be able to do like her speed booster and all that shit. So, almost exclusively in first-person view mode, that would actually be pretty damn cool. And for those who would want the option, instead of using the gyros, you could use the touchscreen. It's basically the same way Kid Icarus plays. So like use the touchscreen and do all your precision aiming and all that shit. You would also have the lock on button for when you're in first person view mode. Like this way you give people a couple different ways to play the game. They have a couple different ways they can experience it. And I know this would take a lot of work. I definitely know this would take a lot of work. But I also know that this can be done. And with all the features I'm talking about adding to it, I could see having that as the final game in the line. Even though chronologically that game would be right after Super Metroid. So yeah, I know it would be flipped funny. But I think this way, like, you give people all the shit that they want immediately, and then there's this other option to play it if you feel like it. You don't have to, but it's there if you want to. As one of the few people who actually likes Other M, but I understand a lot of other people don't. So there's a way to reconcile that. But that's really it. If anybody else has any ideas you'd like to throw in the pot, go ahead, put them down in the comment section. Thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for more of my stuff. And until the next time, enjoy your games. Peace out, people.